Welcome all of you, and thank you all for having this on a Gandhi Jayanti the evening with IIT Madras Alumni Association. Very excited to have you all for yet another new initiative from IIT Madras Alumni Association. And this has been the brainchild of Shiva Kumar, who holds also the position of the treasurer in IIT Madras Alumni Association. We also have with us Krishna Narayanan, who is the vice president of the association today, and a lot of other alumni who have come in, where we will have conversations. I would like to now call upon Shiva to welcome the group and give an idea as to how this happened and what we will be doing. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you, Radha. Alumni, teachers, and any students who are on this call, hello and good evening. So welcome to the inaugural edition of Fish Market. Within our community, we have a lot of talent across various different fields. We also have access to a lot of resources, financial resources in particular. One thing we felt that we could do more of is to leverage off each other's strengths and find opportunities to partner with each other to be even more successful as individuals, be even more impactful to the society, and contribute even more to nation building. So Fish Market is designed to help us do precisely this. I warmly welcome the six startups that are going to be presenting today. I also extend a warm welcome to all the alumni who have registered to sign up. I invite and encourage you to actively take part in the session. Just one note of disclaimer before we cut over to the presentations themselves. This is only a networking platform. So IIT Madras Alumni Association does not assume any responsibility or liability for any transactions that might take place following these presentations. And this extends to also anything that might be said or typed in these sessions by the participants or by the presenting teams. Over to the presenting teams now.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. So we have with us six alumni companies which are going to pitch, and I will call them in an order. And so when they are presenting, we will have everybody else on mute, give them that 5 minutes of, nobody will interfere while they're talking. Now, after they finish, we will have a quick question answer session with them. So to go on, so I will be calling the presenters one after the other. And so they will go on for 5 minutes. And after their presentation is when the questions will be asked. And today we have on an expert panel, we have with us Ravi Kiran, who's electrical engineering from the batch of 2000. He's been an entrepreneur and a team builder, a lifelong learner, and an angel investor. He's had about 17 years of work experience in banking, corporate development, and in various things. And I'm sure he's going to ask some of the best questions that can trigger more conversations with others also. And after every presentation, if you have questions, request you all to maybe raise your hand in the chat section so that I can call you. And of course, Shiva's idea is to make this into a fish market, but we'll keep it in a more organized way if it helps. Yeah. So first, we start with Rishikesh. Are you ready, Rishikesh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, please. You can share your content and you can start. Thank you.
Yeah. So, good evening, all of you. I'm Rishikesh, 2018 batch alumni, Civil Engineering Department, IIT Madras. Okay, ma'am. So, mine is Better Queue, Stay Home, Stay in Queue, which is a mobile-based mobile application, which is for a queue management system. So, what is the present problem? We all know that is excessive queuing and waiting are among the leading causes of dissatisfaction in banks, salons, hospitals, supermarkets, and railway stations. So what actually problem is that? So we need to stand in a crowd. We know that there is no social distancing at all. So too much waiting time, which makes us impatient, and finally we get frustrated and irritated. So we want to leave that place. So So what is the solution for that is the Better Queue provides just one click to generate token number or book an appointment or to join any queue. With the GPS system, we get connect with the nearby places with the live queue tracking and with live status of service providers availability. And if someone goes offline, we have that capacity to join them just to scan to generate token number or to join virtual queue at any place. So why now? So time is the most valuable and the precise thing in the world to save. And we know that presently social distancing, how it is important and will be important in future also. So presently market size of these service sectors where we are going to apply our mobile application is salons by 2020 it's 7 billion, supermarket 63 billion, healthcare 132 billion, and banks 1.90 trillions by 2020. So this is a big market size, but presently it's not that much well organized for the services that we want to. So we are providing these solutions. Our product is Better Queue, which where we just have to search the place like saloons, hospitals, banks, and just we have to book our slot according to this. Then stay in a virtual queue. So presently we last month we released a free version. It's around 200 downloads. 22 service providers we have registered on our app, and 47 bookings through the app we have done presently. So our competition is Databyte, Zenoti, Ding, and a few more are there, and we are just comparing for this much. So on online, Databyte is not providing online. It's having some machine which generates the ticket. Zenoti is giving the only for salons. Ding is providing online, but it's not showing offline and the supermarkets. But Better Queue provides for all of them, even online and offline also. So what is uniqueness about our product? So it's a generic app, but provides unique solution for all the crowded places, integrates online and offline queue, and predicts a real estimated wait time. Single or multi-counter services with the live availability status of service provider gives additional option to service provider to convert customer from offline to online. So our business model will be the freemium first lifetime access with the limited features just to increase the number of downloads. Premium features which will give us all the value-added services with the monthly, quarterly, and yearly subscription-based model, and then a banner advertisement and affiliate marketing. So this is our team. I am Rishikesh here. I will handle business development and brand. Chaitanya is a developer who is having 5 years of experience in a stack development, who has independently designed and lead a team deliver to production ready software. And Sumit is a product design and quality assurance, who is having 6 years of experience in design development, quality assurance, and release management of multiple products. So what we are looking here is seed funding in exchange of 25% of equity, and the amount we are required is 25 lakhs for the duration of 12 months for the initial hiring, product development, marketing, and product validation. So this is our presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we start with Ravi? Would you like to ask the first questions, and then I shall open it out to others from our expert panel?
Rishi, that's a great presentation. So thank you. Just couple of questions from my side. How would you? What will be the go-to market? So how will you prioritize who you'd sell it to? Are you planning to sell it to a particular segment first? Because this is your from your presentation, I gather you will sell to smaller or bigger enterprises. You showed the entire market range. So how will you prioritize?
So yeah, our priority will first go from saloon market. We'll capture all the saloon market. Then we'll go for healthcare. Where we know that we need to go in hospital where offline numbers are the queuing system will be somewhat manageable, and then bank system, which is a big sector in India. So our priority first will be saloon, then supermarket, healthcare, and bank. Where supermarket will give a scanning system where we can just scan product, and while entering into a big bazaar or Reliance retail, we just scan and just stand in a virtual queue before we actually buy some products. So we will get that real time assessment.
Second question from my side is, have you thought about, will it be faster if you white label it for companies? I have seen this product in other countries where it is in operation, where banks, it has been white labeled, and therefore then that particular bank or Reliance Retail will say it's a Reliance Retail queuing app. Is that the model, or is it directly to consumer download?
It's directly to consumer download. So it will be available openly. Anyone can download it. Any service provider can just create their own profile, and as per the subscription basis, if they want to free trial, they can use free trial, and for premium features or value-added features, they have to subscribe for that.
Understand. Lata, I'll let others ask more questions. Thanks for this.
Yes, please. Any other questions from anybody? You are free to ask questions now.
Hi, this is Raghu. Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, do you have any method by which you could have, this is a follow-up question to the white label. Is there a way to integrate your functionality within the apps of the various banks, or have you thought about that? Is there a way to integrate the functionality so that they don't need to download a separate app? If for that particular bank, they can just open their bank app and also book a place in the queue.
Yeah, sir. For that, what we have do integrates online and offline. If you have an app, then you can just book your number through online through our Better Queue app. But if you don't have, you just go to that place physically, just scan that number. Or if we have given one additional feature, that additional option to service provider to convert customer from offline to online. Both features are there. If you just scan the QR code and get into queue, or additionally, if you don't have mobile also, then you just go to the service provider. He will just add you to offline queue to online. That feature we have.
No, I'm not saying that, because that still means you need to physically go. And I guess one of the things about COVID is you don't want to do that until it's time for you to be served.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that suppose I have an ICICI Bank app on my phone. Have you thought about coding your product in such a way that it can be integrated into the ICICI Bank's app, so that I just open my app and book a place in the queue?
Presently, sir, we have not thought about that, but whatever the service providers we have registered through the mobile app, you can just on one click you will get to that queue, or you just book an appointment, or you will be in the queue. But for that we need our Better Queue application only.
Okay. Second question is on a different point. You mentioned your current fundraising plans.
Yes, sir.
But you haven't presented your business plan in terms of, where you are today, where do you see yourself going, how does your revenue and cost work out over the next 5 years or whatever, and so on. Yeah. So I did not see that in your presentation. Do you plan to share that with any prospective investors?
Yes, actually, so it's 1 month release of application, so around 100 downloads and 22 service providers and 47. So presently we have not that much into validation, because when we approach to the service providers, they are expecting some new features. So we are working on that. So once they will try that free version when they move to free version to the subscribe version, then we will try to validate how much market we can get approach in this particular year. So for that we have presently we have just business model of like premium and banner advertising.
Okay, so right now you're just raising funds
Yeah, to
basically to
product development and for
to even test the viability of the product.
yes, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
We had a question from Subhash. So he's asking, in healthcare, how will it be different from Practor and other similar apps?
Yeah, Practo, which gives online consultation, where we are not giving online consultation for anyone. They allow video calling and directly contact with the doctors. But in our case, doctors will not engage our app. The service provider will be some desk person who is handling this queue, and he will take care of his appointments. And but customer or patient has to come physically into the hospital only. That is our difference. But we will give
But I think
both
Practor
appointments.
has that. Yeah, but Practor not only that, right? There are appointment bookings
Appointment,
also, which is
yeah.
the Docs app and everything.
Yeah, appointment will be there, similar for that, but just online consultation will be not there.
Yeah. Yes. Anything else coming up to Rishikesh?
May I ask you something?
Please.
Yeah, I'm Raghavendra here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to ask you, this customer experience or their feedback, how will you get incorporated into the app actually? There will be a dynamic set of this one thing feedback you'll be taking in the people who are using the app, how they'll be giving you the feedback.
Yes. We have physically visited that whatever the service providers we have registered. We have taken their feedbacks, means how they are, what they want, additional features in this one, and we have taken we have finalized their reviews also, and for also we are getting their customers reviews also. We are getting that okay, this app is helping us in this COVID situation not to get presently into the shop. This kind of reviews we are getting, which is beneficial for us presently.
Hello, if there is no other question, can I ask?
Okay, thank you.
Atul, I am
Yes,
Atul here.
Please go on.
Yeah, I just want to get some idea about whether you have done some homework on the revenue model and what kind of revenue you look at in order to achieve a break-even and growth.
Yes, sir. Actually, presently we have talked with about 10 customers who have registered on our shop. So after adding some value-added features, they are ready to pay us one rupees per customer what they have acquired to our app. So this is the present our revenue model. So we are planning to make it by per customer, some fees or subscription model. So and other is a banner advertisement.
Okay. But have you made any projections? Figures at what level you will be able to make this viable?
Sir, actually, once we are ready with the product, what I want means what we want to release into market, on the basis of that only we can predict okay how much from next 2-3 years how much growth we can expect on that. This is a limited features version of app. We cannot expect kind of revenue generation from this one. But once we are done with this product development, then definitely we look into the validation of market validation.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I think Raghu has asked for a demo of the app and other things. Maybe I think Raghu and Rishikesh, I think we will connect you, and then it would be good, Raghu, if you are interested in having a conversation with Rishikesh. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if we may move on with Raghu.
My name is BNN Prasad.
Yes, please.
I want to put up in the chat.
Sure.
The question I have is, Rishikesh.
Yes, sir.
What is the unfair advantage your company will have over competition?
Sir, I didn't get your voice, sir.
Okay, what I'm saying is because you mentioned about 4 or 5 competitors.
Yes, sir.
Right. So one is,
Yes,
the
sir.
features you had mentioned. You had ticked all of them. right?
Yes, sir.
Online, offline, etc. So what is the uniqueness of your product over competition?
Yes, the uniqueness will be this one, sir. It's generic app. Few apps are there for particular. Zenith is for salons. Ding is for saloon, hospital, but it's not for supermarket. It's trying to validate into supermarket also, but it not provides. It's not providing offline. We are integrating offline and online queues. So this will be our uniqueness, and additionally, we are giving a service provider to convert customer from offline to online queue. If suppose a customer who doesn't have a mobile, if he went into the shops, so then additionally service provider has that access to make his presence into online, so that integration will be there, online and offline.
Okay, any cost advantage you will have over competition?
Yeah, definitely, sir. Because it's a unique app. It's app having all the services in a single application. So definitely, it will be the unique for us
Any ease
and
of
help us to,
convenience or
yeah,
ease
yeah,
of use by the competition, by
yes.
customers?
Yeah, convenience will be there. So means if we open the app, we will get all the places at a single platform where we want to join. So we don't need to download different apps for different services. All the things will be there in one platform.
Okay, thank you, Rishikesh. Good.
Yeah, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Rishikesh, you definitely have more questions coming in, and then we will definitely take few more that comes up towards the end to the benefit of others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So we move on to Aman Agarwal. Aman, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start. Hi, everyone. My name is Aman. I'm the co-founder and CTO at Suke. I'll just introduce about our founding team. We have Arjun, who's a graduate from IIT Guwahati. I graduated in 2008 and I did my BTech in electrical engineering. Saurabh is a graduate from ISTC Chandigarh. All of us have worked with Schlumberger and Halliburton across the globe, Middle East, Southeast Asia, US, and India. Work with most of the major oil and gas companies, and there's one thing that we know, this is operations. And global mission critical operations experience is what we bring to the table. So the mission and the vision of Suke is to provide high value digital technology solutions for operations excellence. And I'll get into what operations excellence and the exact problem we're solving just a bit. Yeah. So just to give you a bit of context on what operation excellence means, right? So if you look at manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, oil and gas, any kind of industry, operations becomes a very big value driver which transcends sectors. So if you take manufacturing, for example, you have raw materials coming in from one end, you have a lot of processing happening, and then the finished goods coming out, logistics, warehousing, where goods and people are interacting. Well, you have healthcare and oil and gas sector. So historically, what has happened is if you take functions like sales, finance, even support, they have clearly defined market leaders when it comes to softwares that help drive value. But when it comes to operations, right now there is no clear market leader, and there are different people solving different parts of the puzzle. But this is exactly where we're trying to position Suke. So, let me talk a little bit about the problem statement that we are trying to solve. If you look at operations, where there's a lot of people and machinery and equipment that comes together, there is a huge lack of visibility. And this lack of visibility creates very expensive inefficiencies. A typical plant or a factory floor, you have a plant supervisor. On a typical day, these are the common challenges that they're trying to address, right? Is everyone working safely? Are all my assets being properly utilized? Is my production line working properly? Are all my people working? And what is the current production? So on and so forth, right? So if you try to analyze a bit deeper, these inefficiencies lead to low productivity, poor utilization of assets. There's always a safety risk, and there's the cost of non-compliance. So how are we solving this problem of inefficiencies? So we create a digital layout of the facility, and using our real-time location engine, we are able to plot the location of people and assets in real time. Based on all this real-time location data, we are able to generate a lot of contextual alerts which are relevant to the operations in question. And then there's a bunch of analytics that lets people analyze their trends over time and gives them more insights into how they can streamline and make their operations better. So let me just quickly show you exactly what the product looks like in real time, right? So this is one of the factories in Gujarat for a client UPL, United Phosphorus Limited, where we're doing manpower tracking for them. About 1,200 odd contractors are being tracked live in this facility. So in real time, they know where their people are and how they're moving around. And then we have a bit of a sitemap where we can show them quick statistics about how many people are in the facility, who came in which shift, the real-time headcount of people and other kinds of assets, location-wise, where are all the people and what is the counts. Then there's a bunch of analytics that we built, right? So we have all the reporting engines. So I'll just continue with the presentation here. So the Syuk platform, right? How are we doing what we are doing? So we have these BLE beacon-based wearable tags. And they're in different form factors. The most common one is in the form of an ID card that we issue to people or even attach to movable assets. And then we have our own custom designed IoT gateways that we position in the strategic places inside the facility so that we can get the signals from these beacons and calculate location. And then we've built a very modular platform on top of it that has our own proprietary location engine. We've also filed a patent for the location algorithm that we are utilizing. We have a web application and a mobile application that gives contextual alerts to the relevant people. And the whole system is completely configurable. That's the no-code way of doing things. So one of the users will just come and configure the system for the use cases that they want to solve. And, so this is about our traction. So we are already live with the likes of Unilever, Fiat, Chrysler Automobiles in one of their plants in Ranjangaon, Pune, with Danone Delivery, UPL I just showed you, Reckitt Benckiser. We've done some POCs with Fortis also, and we're just waiting for this COVID situation to subside, and we're going to scale up within the healthcare with Fortis. And we've also got some strategic partnerships with Microsoft, Accenture, Honeywell, and Avnet, and they're helping us in the go-to-market at the moment. So with this, I think, sure. Let me just present about the opportunity, right? So, I mean, IoT has been around for a long time, and there's a lot of value that people are seeing, and the market opportunity, some people are estimating it can be $1 trillion opportunity. Syuk is the only Indian company that has been listed in the Markets and Markets Global Survey in the real-time location solution provider space. There's a bunch of 15 companies, and we were the only Indian company to be featured in that survey. As per Gartner, there is no clear leader in this particular space. The point I was talking earlier about no clear operations software that is available that people will go to. We have corporate venture fund. It's an Indian PSU that is investing in our current funding round. And we see a lot of potential in the oil and gas sector, especially with respect to safety. Safety becomes a very big concern, and that's something that all of us can relate to, since we've been part of the oil and gas sector experience. So I think that's about what I wanted to cover.
Okay, so we.
Some of our
Yeah, man, go on.
Yeah, so just some of our investors. Shiva has been a serial entrepreneur, is on to his third startup. Is our very first investors. Two of his startups is sold to Google, and he's been very active in advising us on how to build a scalable, modular, configurable platform. Raghu, very well known in the Bangalore circles, he's worked with Redbus, Flipkart, Recharge, again advising us on technology. And now that our platform is built, we're seeing a lot of sales traction. So we're looking for industry advisors. So we've got Sanjeev Garg, is an automotive veteran, who's been introducing us into the automotive sector. We've also gotten Inflection Point Ventures as part of our investors in the last round. There's a bunch of CFOs who are able to open up networks and doors for us. Currently, we are raising our Series A round, and for that, I was saying that we have a niche corporate venture fund who's already shown us a commitment, and we've already executed that term sheet. Now we're currently raising more rounds. Currently raising with some more investors. IPV also has shown interest in doing the follow-up in this current round.
Yeah, thank you, Aman. So first from our expert panel, Ravi, your questions, please.
Thanks for the time. Just give me a moment, please.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Aman, thanks for the presentation and congratulations on getting some great customers and some great advisors on board. My first question is around killer use case. You have some great customers. Is there a killer use case you're seeing? What is the most popular use case amongst your existing customers? Is it safety? Is it personal management? And second question is, are you replacing? So most of these existing customers, you mentioned there are no competitors or there are no leaders in this market. But when you go to factories, are you they implement your solution? What are you replacing? Are they using anything at all, or are they not using anything for this right now? I have seen some dashboards and other things before, so just want to understand what do you replace?
Sure. So in terms of what our customers are interested in, these are the modules that based on whatever our experience has been and what early traction we've seen, it's people management. They want to know where their people are, how they're moving around. Mostly they want to do a productivity and a safety analysis. Productivity is how they're spending time, whether they're at their workstations or not. Safety is mostly from the point of emergency response. If an incident happens in the factory, you want to know in real time where all the people are they safe or not? And if somebody is not present in the muster stations, what was their last known location, so that you can send help and rescue immediately, right? And I've been in the oil field where we used to do these weekly safety drills so that everyone has got that muscle memory in case of a real incident. It used to last about 30 to 40 minutes. We've reduced that time to about 2 to 3 minutes. In 2 to 3 minutes, you can do a real-time head count once all the people are mustered, right? We're doing contractor management. So labor management in some of the labor-intensive industries is a big problem currently. And again, it's from a productivity and attendance management perspective. Visitor management is a small module that just because it's an adjacency, if someone has implemented all the other modules, they can even do visitor management, where you can have access control and access restriction for the visitors. Truck in, truck out is one of the most high ROI modules that we have, and this is being utilized by Fiat currently and Reckitt Benckiser to optimize their in-plant logistics. So once a truck enters your facility, you give these tags to the drivers, and using them, you are able to track where the trucks are, how much time are they spending in the parking area, how much time they're spending loitering around, how much time they're actually spending in the loading and unloading areas, which is the most productive time, right? And using this, we've been able to help Fiat reduce the truck turnaround times, and they are now able to do a very deep dive into how all their truck vendors are performing. And for them, the problem was also in manufacturing in automotive sector, they do this just-in-time manufacturing. So they don't have a big inventory of spare parts or the parts that are required to assemble the car. They'll be coming in trucks, and once the parts are unloaded onto the production line, they get assembled, and that's how cars are manufactured. So imagine if some truck gets held up and some parts have not been delivered, there's a very big chance of production loss that they're not able to address because they know exactly where their trucks are. And for this kind of an operation, earlier they used to employ almost about 70 people. And the question that you were asking, right, what is the system that we have replaced in Fiat? It's a paper-based system. So they used to have registers where people used to note down truck entry times, truck exit times, and this e-gate passes that we have digitized for them. It was all on paper. Yeah. And they can add multiple checkpoints. So it's just digitization, and once you digitize, there's a lot of analytics that you can do on the fly, right? I hope I was able to address the questions that you were asking. If there's something lacking, just let me know.
No, yes, it's addressed. And can I get a sense of? Can you share a sense of pricing? I'm assuming this is SaaS based, so. How does what does a typical plant pay you for using this module and so on, or how do they pay?
Sure. So let me just take you to this part, right? So there are two aspects to it, right? One is the hardware and the other is the platform. What we are trying to, and it depends on how big the projects are, is to go for a full OpEx based model, where we deliver all the hardware and the platform, and per asset tracked per month, the clients are paying us a subscription fee. There are certain clients, and again in enterprise, right, clients get their preference for business models. Some of them want it on an full capex based model where they purchase the hardware, we give them some warranty on the hardware, and then there's a operating cost for or a license cost for the platform with the currency. So both the business models are available. And as far as costing, this probably gives you some idea, right? 20% is on the hardware and 80% of the value gets derived from the platform.
I understand. Last one from me. The software part, which is which you call the platform, is this on-site, on-premise, or is it in the cloud?
So what we have built is a cloud agnostic software stack. We can host it in any cloud provider, or we can even do on-prem.
Understood. No, thank you so much. Lata, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ravi. I think we have some questions here, and so we have Raghu. Raghu is asking who's the corporate venture fund, and what is your objective from this presentation? This was Raghu's question.
So as I said, we are currently in the middle of raising our Series A round. This corporate venture fund, I'll be more than happy to have a private chat around that. Since the deal is still not finalized, we just signed the term sheet. You can ping me privately, and I'll let you know more details about that. It's one of the big PSUs in India. The objective is for us to see if I can obviously gain some momentum on the funding part to close our Series A round. If there are more issues who can get interested, and we're trying to stitch around together. So that was one. And the other is if people see value in this product and we see some relevance, and if you can open up some doors for us, especially internationally. That's what we're looking at, to partner with the people who can take us to different geographies.
Okay, so we have
Can
Raghu.
I follow up that question a little bit? So
Sure.
okay, so you did mention that you're looking for expanding your investment sources, but you did not put down what are your objectives in terms of the current investment round that you have. What level of funding you're planning to raise? You haven't presented a business plan, so to speak. Would you be willing to share that more on a one-on-one discussion?
Yes, absolutely. We can always have a follow-on conversation, and we can get into more details. Just to give you an idea, we're looking to raise about 2 million for this particular round, and we've got commitment.
Currency, please.
Sorry?
Currency. You said 2 million. Is that rupees or dollars?
Million USD. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've got commitments of around 700K USD from some existing investors and this corporate venture fund.
Okay. In your investment, I guess you're planning to share out equity, right, to these investors? Or is that not a plan?
Going to be equity dilution, and again, we can have a follow-on conversation if you want some more details around this.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Would be interested, Lata. So
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So Krishnan has a question. Is employee tracking the biggest use case? What other use cases are you seeing traction?
Again, we've been doing this only for the last 2.5 years, and a great deal of it was spent on refining the platform and get the building blocks correct. So these are the modules that we have as of now, where we are seeing traction. We've got 2 deployments for truck and truck out, one with the Fiat and one with the Reckitt Benckiser, and Reckitt Benckiser is going very aggressive, and they're wanting to expand into other factories. We're seeing a lot of, especially in Indian context, because it's still labor intensive, right? Contractor management is seeing a lot of traction. So this is till date our current the single biggest deployment, where we're tracking 1,200 contractors, and we're talking with UPL to scale to about 15 other plants inside of India, where in total 15,000 contract workers will be tracked using our platform for productivity and attendance management and payroll and billing and the like.
So one follow-up question there, Lata, possible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So in this context of COVID, did you receive any requests for this the social distancing and so on? And have you been able to do anything in that space?
Not touch on that, but since we have this location being tracked for people, we have built a contact tracing and a social distancing software solution also. I'll quickly see if I can show that to you. And that is also gaining interest a lot. I think in March only we pivoted and built that particular add-on. So, yeah. And that is also getting a lot of interest from clients. We're actually partnering with Honeywell also to do a joint GTM with some of the big enterprises, where the hardware is going to be a lot, right? So we're having these partners front end some of the hardware costs, especially for the CapEx kind of project. So here you can see if you have COVID positive case in your facility, and if you have enabled this kind of a tracking, you can just enter who was patient 0 and from which time you want to do the analysis, based on which a report gets generated, which tells who this person was in contact with, and more than people, it also tells you areas where this person has spent time, and that way you can get a risk profiling for both people as well as locations inside your facility. And we have tags which have local social distancing alerting using vibration. So if people come too close to you and they're also wearing those wearable bracelet tags, it will vibrate and let you know that social distancing is not being followed. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah, so we have a question from Atul. He wants to know what's the tag sensor technology which is used.
It's Bluetooth BLE beacon based.
Okay.
So, and sorry, Lata.
Yeah.
How does it work on the road for a truck?
So we're not doing GPS tracking, so it's in-plant logistics. Once you have your facility, GPS is going to be the next adjacency that we explore because there's a lot of GPS providers. We just want to partner with one of them and integrate their solution into our platform.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
This is Biju here. I have a question.
Yes, Biju.
When you describe the functionality that is there, a lot of it is about capturing data, which is, kind of private to the individual. So what kind of consent management functionality that you have in place to manage data privacy? I know it's not a big topic in India, but just wanting to understand your thoughts on that.
Yeah, again, because we're dealing with enterprises, the consent and everything comes through the enterprise for personal data. We have, again, private cloud hosting, right? So if people are concerned about how the data is going to get used, it's only for analytics that we use their data streams, and we can host it in their client's private cloud network or on-prem infra also. Again, for all that data, what we're actually interested in is building a virtual supervisor, right? And this is where a lot of our clients are okay with us generating all of this data. When it comes to personal data, we can obfuscate some of this personally sensitive data and derive the final output that we want. And this is something that we are working towards, is to build a virtual supervisor, right? If you look at supervision, it's kind of a very time-consuming task, and it becomes very tedious, if I can use that word. And what this platform will enable and augment is manual supervision using all the different data streams. You have contextual intelligence being developed, and this virtual supervisor will be able to tell you, right, this is going to go wrong, please take some action. So in that context, people are more than willing to have their data available to us. But yeah, we're obviously going to be not abusing or doing anything that is illegal with that data, right? It's all going to be defined SLAs and defined.
Yeah, thank you. Just to the to presenters, please feel free to share your email ID, contact, your website, whatever you want to share in the chat section, so that anybody who wants to take down your details can do it. I know you've put out a slide here, Raman, but then will be helpful if you can put it out in the chat box also. And there are some questions if I have left out, you can maybe just see that and answer, which will be fine, because for the benefit of time, we are moving to the next presenter. Thank you, Aman.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Satyajit, can we have you over?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Satyajit, over to you.
Thank you, Lata. Good evening, everyone. I am Satyajit Jadhav, alumna of IIT Madras. In 2016, three of us came together and kind of brainstormed a product which is in. Let me share this.
Yeah, Satyajit.
Yeah, I am just sharing.
Sure.
Yeah, can you see my screen? Okay. So in 2016, three of us came together. One of us was kind of a domain expert, and another one was a technical genius. And I came into as a kind of a product manager. And we decided to work on a product which is in a niche area.
Satyajit, please check your audio. It's just cracking now. It is clear, and then it started cracking. Please check your if you're using a.
Is it better now?
It's good now. Yes.
Okay, sorry. So this is build formatter. We called it as a DEA with comms or a build formatter. This is something kind of a communicator product which sits between billing system and the retail customer in space of a utility. For example, telecom, financial institution, banking, or electricity, and so on. So this is kind of a bill presentation to the retail customer, where billing system gives the raw data like in CSV and XML, and then our product takes that raw data, use the template which has been designed for a bill presentation. So what are the what is the problem statement that we have come up with? So existing solutions which are there from likes of Amdocs or Pitney Bowes and iTens, those are very costly. So in terms of their what I can say licensing costs, their one-time cost is around 3.5 crore or 4 crore, and then the operational cost is around 50 lakhs to 75 lakhs. So what happens is that the companies or multinational companies or very big companies which has a revenue of 1,000 crore plus all these things, they can afford to have those products, but smaller companies or medium-sized companies, it becomes very difficult for them to get those products, but they have no options because they want to give bills to their customers. And the actual challenge for this is there are two challenges. One thing is you have to churn out millions of bills in a day or 2 days, and there are customer cases or there are companies which has faced a lot of problems with the existing product, and their billing cycle, instead of sending the all customers say 10 millions within a 2 days or 3 days, they are spending or they are getting it over a 2 weeks times. So imagine a 10 millions bill of 10 millions bills which are getting produced in a span of 15 days, and that kind of revenue loss or I would say a delay in the revenue that companies are occurring. So we came up with the product which is as feature rich as with the competitors, at the same time cost efficient, and the performance wise on the moderate machine we are able to generate 1.5 million bills in a 1 hour. Upon that, what we have thought is that there is a lot of marketing opportunity or monetization. For example, I can have a bill, say telecom bill, which is corporate bill or personal bill, which is crossing say 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees per month. I can selectively add or I can selectively put advertise for my new plans or for my new features, say for my 5G plans or something like that. So that flexibility we have built into the model, where conditionally I can push the advertise into my bills. So structure is something the competitor or I can say the existing product, they have kind of a rigid format where the product is sitting in their premises and it has to be installed on heavy configurations and other stuff. And then there is a lot of, I would say, suppose in this month, I want to change or I want to give a COVID message to my all customers. It takes them to around 2 weeks or 3 weeks with the team size of three, four people. to change the template so that bill can be generated with the customized message. So there are a lot of inflexibilities in the current product. When we studied in couple of years back, they might be catching us or something like that. But that was when we thought the things, and then we come up with the SaaS solution. So we have a browser-based solution where things can be done at the same time. We can, if customer wants, they can have the in-premise solution. So the output which we generate from our product looks like something this. So we have some sample outputs from the telecom industry, from the electrical industry, and from banking and other stuff, where you can see here that my product is able to push the advertise belonging some conditions which I have. I think the example which I have given is the total amount of bill, or the area pin code wise I can push my advertise, or anything which you want to put the things. And the best part is that you don't need a team of 4 or 5 softwares and all these things. You are marketing people with some amount of training. Your marketing or company's marketing people should be able to do that kind of stuff. And the product also uses kind of all kind of output that it can produce. It can produce output in PDF, in HTML, or it can produce output that needs to be printed on a pre-printed stationery like this in electrical bill. So there is a lot of flexibility about as far as the inputs are considered.
Satya, sorry for interrupting. You are still showing the first page, so.
Are you changing the slides? Because we don't see the slides change.
I was changing the slide. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, but it didn't move.
Oh, okay, sorry. Don't know what happens.
I think instead of sharing the presentation screen, he's sharing the presentation itself.
Okay, sorry.
So he should share the slideshow screen.
Are you able to do that?
Yeah, just hold on. You see now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of output that our product generates from the billing system. And billing system, we have an engine which actually take on multiple billing systems or multiple files, and for example CSV, XML, and other stuff. And our template designer, which is one of our module, will read it, and it will convert it into readable, or it will convert it to understandable format that our processing engine can read, and then generate the output. So I would like to play a video which will give some idea about what I was talking about. Let me know if you can see that. Sorry, it's a bit slow. Can you see this?
Statements, bills, letters?
Yes, Satyajit.
Yeah.
You build multiple templates, cross-sell and upsell effectively, have multiple data sources in different formats, face integration challenges. Introducing Datanomics, a cloud-based SaaS product with powerful data engine and intuitive template editor. Datanomics is a unique solution. It builds templates simple and fast and effective, thus minimizing the dependency on skilled resources. The Datanomics rule engine allows you to create business rules for embedding personalized marketing messages, embedding personalized marketing images, enhancing the upsell and cross-sell opportunity. With its fast pre-processing capabilities, Datanomics can generate up to 1.5 million pages per hour using moderate hardware. Don't want your data to be sent beyond your network? No worries. Besides SaaS offering, Datanomics can work on premises as well. It has a robust post-processing unit capable of analytical reporting, mailbox sorting, document storage, and retrieval. Whether you are a retail customer, a business customer, or a corporate, Datanomics will be your one-stop solution for unique formatting needs. Get in touch.
Yeah, so this talks bits about the product, and now I will just talk about why we are here. I am here to represent this in fish markets. What has happened is that since last 2-3 years, although we got a number of tractions, the entry barrier to get into the third round or second round and third round, out of around 10 what I can say tractions, we could get into third round for only one customers, and it's kind of a niche area where you are kind of dealing with the financial stuffs, financial cycles, and all these things. So the kind of obstacles or kind of rules and kind of contracts agreements are very stringent as far as the kind of experience a vendor should have or kind of revenue vendor has generated. If I go to even kind of companies like Airtel or a Vodafone, they have very stringent vendor management rules, and getting over there it has become very difficult. We tried to partner with some of the multinational companies, but somewhere they lack the focus to take it ahead. So that is one part. So I am looking for a kind of a marketing partner who can get us into kind of network or lead to some customers, which with the help of his company or his network. That is one part. And second part is we are also looking for the investment, because there are some couple of things which we want to build. One is the interactive PDF or interactive HTML as an output for build, and there is a recent trend which is kind of a video build. So instead of presenting a PDF or HTML, you get a 30 seconds. And there are links into that and all these things. It just talks about your total amount, kind of advertise for their new plans or anything else, and talk about analysis of its bill or something like that. So that's kind of a next wave that is coming into the market. So I need some kind of investment to catch up with those latest development. So yeah, that's it from my side. Lata, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Satyajit. So from our expert panel, Ravi.
Thank you, Satyajit. I could only see a couple of slides of the presentation, but I'm going with what I could gather from your voiceover. Do you already have customers who are using this? That is first question. Second question is, in your presentation, you mentioned that there are smaller companies can't afford the big billing systems, etc. But the customers you're talking about suggested that you're talking about big customers, which are like, Airtel or, the power companies or water companies. They can actually afford the more expensive systems already, which will do a lot more than formatting. So how do you plan to get into those? Third question, there are other tools which are available for formatting, generic formatting tools, like dashboard software or analytic software which can be plugged into generation. So how are you different? Why is it advantageous to use your solution over those?
Okay. One thing is that we don't have current any customer which had started using this product. As I said, there is a one customer which we are into third round for that. And second question that you were talking about the big companies. I think this is not the billing system I am talking about. So this is not a sophisticated or very big billing system. It is between billing system and the bill representation, where billing system produces a lot of data for the customers, and that becomes input to the our product, and we represent the bill in a PDF format or a pre-printed stationery and other stuff. As far as a big customer like Airtel and all this considered, even with the money they are spending on their bill formatter solution, as I said, their billing cycle has become very elongated, and they are losing revenue over there. So in terms of performance, we have done some kind of I would say performance checks on some of the billing system exactly there for some of the customers, and we taken their input from the billing system, and we have run over our product, and for a simple bill, for a medium complex medium bill and complex bills, and we found that our product is far more superior as far as performance is considered. The third question that you asked is when I say a formatter, rather than I think just a bit of a misleading one. This is a kind of a bill presenter, not exactly is the formatter. Sorry, can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, Satyajit. We are hearing.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So this is something which take a data, and maybe I can take you through the kind of the process which happens in the product, where raw data is mapped to the template, and then there is a batch process which takes up that raw data and present the actual bill. So does it answer my question? Answer your question, or is it something?
Yeah, yes, it answers the question. Can your customer actually the customer designs the template, or you design it for them?
First time we design the template, and we do a kind of a extensive training for a week, so that we don't get involved into the designs after that. So, but if customer doesn't have a resources to design it, we can always be pitched in and design. Typically, for a complex template, it will take kind of a 1 week or 7, I can say 5 to 7 months to design a template, provided the input and everything is correctly defined and customer knows what he wants on the bill.
Understood. But your target customers are large billers, basically, like telecoms or and so on.
They can be small customers, small utility, like even like kind of municipalities like Mumbai municipalities, where they are producing a bill or water bill or tax or a small bank. So to just give you an idea about the competitor prices, some of the competitor, their minimum price is around 2 to 3 crores, and generally it one-time cost of 4 to 5 crores plus a yearly operating cost of 50 to 75 lakhs without any customizations. where we are offering kind of better performance on the moderate machines in cloud, or if you want in premises, with the one-time cost of around 50 to 75 lakhs based upon again subscriber, and operating cost of yearly kind of we are talking about in terms of 20 lakhs or something like that.
Understand. And these competitors are just doing the last the same bit that you are doing, which is the presentation of the bill.
Yes.
These are not the billing systems. Okay, understood.
No, these are not the billing systems.
Understand. No, I have a few more questions, but I'll let others ask questions first.
Sure. Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. This is Vikram.
Yes,
One
Vikram.
small question. Satyajit, you mentioned that this is going to be basically more efficient. So, for example, just for hypothesis, we say I'm talking about Airtel. My billing cycle ends on, let's say, 5th of the month.
Okay.
And do you have any idea how much time they take to dispatch my bill? And how much will be the saving? How much will be the saving by using your system?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't listen.
Yeah. So let's say my billing cycle ends on a particular day, and after that they prepare the bill and dispatch it. How much is the time between end of billing cycle to actual dispatch in their present system? And what will be the saving when we start using your system?
Okay. When we say kind of a dispatch, I will assume kind of creating a bill in PDF or in a printed format. See, what has happened because of millions number of users. Now, previously, companies like Airtel, they were taking your responsible. So, month of say 5th day of month, they will try to get all customers billing, which will take them through around 3-4 days or 5 days. And after that, they will start sending the bills, or whenever bills comes, they will start sending the bills. So as far as my knowledge, big companies like Airtel or something like that, they are now staggering the billing cycle. Not everybody will get a bill at 5th of the month. So they have started staggering the billing cycle. Previously, it was like a month end and all these things, but that is not happening. So whenever you start billing, that becomes your kind of a month cycle, or first week of month, or third week of month. So that staggering they have done. So what we offer is that instead of you having staggering your bills, and the kind of when bill is generated from the billing system, it typically takes 2 days for them to dispatch the bill to the customers. We can reduce at least by 6 to 70% of that cycle. So that staggering can be reduced very effectively.
But what's the disadvantage of staggering? I see it is a very practical solution.
No, disadvantage of staggering is it's kind of a delay in the, what I can say, in the revenue, and their entire system is again, or their team is engaged into all time engaged into that kind of stuff. So utilization.
Satya, can I add something, Satya?
Sure.
Yeah, so staggering, one disadvantage of staggering is maybe if you join today and if you are billing him tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so that's 2 days of delay. And coming to the actual figures, the study that we did, it was actually for Vodafone. And for Vodafone, one of the cycles that we did study, it was actually taking 3 days to bill in one of the cycles. So it was not only the billing cycle, but the region. So region-wise, in that particular billing cycle, it was taking 3 days. With all software, we could have done it in maybe 1.5 day max. So what we are expecting is we can do it within a day. So that's the speed that we are bringing to the table, along with the other features that are already there. The other thing that I wanted to actually answer was on the features itself. So ours is one of the first SaaS-based solution that is available. and it's a completely configurable tool. So it being completely configurable and SaaS based, a user, we delegate the authority to user to do the changes that they want to do. So it's like, let's say we hand over the responsibility to the marketing team rather than depending on the developer to do the changes. So the marketing team can launch their own campaigns and messages. So this was this answer was basically to one of the earlier questions. Yeah, back to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think there was there's a question from Prasad. He says your customers are medium and large scale businesses. Any product for small scale business?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Our customers, sorry.
You're talking about medium and large scale businesses. So do you have a product for small scale businesses?
We can, like they can go to SaaS. If we have a small scale business, we will, I will suggest to go on a SaaS model rather than in-premise model. So that can be scaled up or more cost efficient.
So, but you have a product, that's what he wanted to know.
In 2006, when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone and, he showed you things like you can do swipe, pinch and all that kind of stuff, not too many people understood what he was talking about. Well, it's now 15 years later, and I think it's time for a new way of working with get the device manufactured somewhere else. We have talked to some manufacturers and they've told us that, instead of this device, can everybody see the devices, by the way? Okay. It will be replaced by a device that's about this long, essentially 25 millimeters long, 5 millimeters wide, and 6 millimeters high. Anyway, just to kind of quickly review, a phone was meant to accept and reject calls and talk and listen on the phone. That's the original phone. Okay. We now have some advanced features for it, but in order to use them, you would essentially have to tap and swipe screens, constantly touching the screen, doing this and all of that stuff. So we now have an app where to just distinguish the app part of it, the software part of it, we call Phonica, and the embedded software and the hardware we call Rugby. Okay. So Rugby stands for Remote Gesture-Based Interface, and Phonica performs contextual actions, like the same, let's say a head nod may mean something different in a different app. Okay. So each app can be sort of customized to perform the actions that it needs to do. Okay. Now, when we first started this, people said, why are you making your own device? Like I said, this device here costs about $200 plus tax, and in India it costs $300, which is 22,000 rupees. Okay. So most people would not be interested in buying something that costs so much. So we've managed to bring the price down to like 1/10, if you will, if it's manufactured in volume quantities, of course. Okay. Okay. So up to now, I've basically funded the project myself. I have 2 or 3 people who work part-time, in the evenings and on weekends and things like that. And we've been able to, I think, achieve a lot of progress, but, we think it's time to go to a much higher level. So currently, and we have prepared the investor deck and the detailed business plan, but since the time is short here, I've sort of, I'm not presenting it right now, but we can, talk about it either during the question time or, offline if anybody's interested. But we're currently looking for a seed investment of about 2 crores over a 3-year period. And again, we have like the plans for how we plan to spend the money and so on. Late now, so I will stop here. And Lata, if anybody has any questions, please.
Yeah, sure. So please put all these links in the chat later, Kishore, so it will help them to kind of, yeah. So from our expert panel, Ravi, first.
congratulations on going after hardware. Now I understand the comment you made earlier. Too many of these. I might have missed something when you were while looking at the presentation, as opposed to looking. Where does the device go? Where how does it?
Yeah, let me just. So you can like strap it to your wrist. You can strap it to your leg. You can also put it on glasses. Okay. So essentially, you have the flexibility of putting it. And somebody the other day even suggested putting it on a bindu on a person's face. You know.
I see, and it detects. So the gestures are related to wherever you place it. So if it can control it with wrist action, is that how it works?
Correct. Yeah, you move your arm up and down to say yes, and you move it sideways to say no. Again, like I said, that raw video footage that will show you that in action.
I see. And is there any technology advantage here? Is there any patents or any IP in this process?
Yes, there is. But like I said, currently I originally developed this as a sort of fun project, if you will. I didn't realize it would be so successful. I mean, I thought it would take me like 2-3 years to kind of come up with something which is kind of would work and I could show it to my friends. But it started working so well. We actually were able to make amazing progress. And but I don't have the funds at this point to go do the patent application and this thing. The patent application estimate that I was given in the US, because this is really a worldwide product, it's not just for India or anything like that. Okay. So the patent figures that I was quoted were sort of eye-watering, if you will. It started out at 50,000 and went up to about 100,000 US dollars. So that's why we are in that.
Understand. Any preliminary thoughts around how you will make a business out of this? Is it royalty based? Will you, because with hardware it's all about distribution, reaching, and so on. Have you had any thoughts about that?
Actually, it's on two levels because we have two different. We have a software component and a hardware component. Okay. So the hardware component we can share our technology and then also our interface technology with other app makers to provide support and embed the app, if you will, in their own. For the basic ones, the basic functions like swiping your phone from left to right or answering phone calls and all that, since we've already developed the technology, we would be essentially creating an app, which we already have. We have one of our first apps is actually already on the App Store. We haven't tried to sell it yet. It's just out there because we wanted to make sure that getting the app through the app approval process works. So, but actually you can already buy it, but like I said, we haven't really marketed it or sold it at this point because does that
understand? Yes, it does. And last question: do you see any risk of this becoming an embedded product, and if there is no technology or IP patent kind of barriers?
Yes, that's definitely a concern. Okay, but then the other reality is that even with IP and with patents and all that, I've seen people steal technology anyway. So the way that I see it is getting a patent and getting having your IP is valuable, but at the same time really moving fast in the market and establishing your position in terms of the company that delivers this kind of solution. And
it's so nice to see all the good mornings coming in from cities around the US. It's just great. I'm so excited to be with you all today. I think we're at 445 people, 447 right now. Today's a really important special day for us. And it comes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Go on, Kishore.
Yeah. I believe there was some other announcement or something going on and I couldn't quite follow.
No problem. That was somebody who had unmuted. We have taken care. Go on.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Ravi.
I mean, I'll go through some of the links and understand the product a bit more and connect offline, but you may want to consider looking at some partnership model for like faster scaling. with larger companies or established players and so on. Just in view of just getting distribution and all of that for hardware is difficult. But I'll connect offline. I'll let others have a conversation with you.
Yeah, I think Raghu had a question. Raghu?
Yeah, basically, Kishore, who are your competitors? Is there anything like this at all out in the marketplace anywhere?
Right now, I'm not aware of any. We sort of keep a scared eye, if you will, out for any competition. One of the problems is when we were originally developing the product, we kind of explained what the basic idea of answering and rejecting phone calls. And we saw that there is a product called Mob VOI, which is already on the market and is not on the market, it's out on Indiegogo, which is advertising the same feature. But I think we're pretty safe with that because their product, because they're incorporating the sound part of it in there, and so they're trying to compete with AirPods and things like that, their product is very pricey. Our product is estimated to cost us about $10 to $15 to make, and if we add another $10 for the software, so we're looking at a cost price of about $25, and the sale, even if we charge $50 for it, I think we should be pretty safe. So we have that advantage over the one competitor that we're aware of. But again, that competitor is only a partial competitor in the sense that they are currently, they're currently only competing with the call answering and call rejection part of it, but they're not competing on the other part of it, which is, moving the phone screens, in all different directions, and things like pressing the OK button or the cancel button and things like that. So we're planning to provide a lot more features than they currently have.
This is Krishnan here.
Yes.
It seems like a very interesting product. So, just two comments. One, it seems to me this is like some horizontal technology that you some demonstrator that you have created. One application of which is sort of used in the phone that you're looking at.
Right.
So the second comment is I have seen a couple of products. So there was one Microsoft research product where they have developed a cane for the blind people,
right?
Which is also some gesture based. You do some things and then it interfaces with the phone, and then if you move the thing in a particular way, if a call comes, the blind person can shake the cane and it would send a message on the phone or something like that. So there's some other application that I've seen of some technology. You may want to check this out. Microsoft.
You're right. No, there are other technologies, but our plan is for the people who want to develop those kind of technologies that we can sell them. Or they can third party source it from us. The device itself. Okay, so once they can embed it into their own, and we will provide them with the APIs and all that to be able to actually create their own app, embedding our APIs as well as the hardware. Because otherwise, I'm afraid we'll spread ourselves too thin.
Right.
To make every product for everybody.
That's right. And my last point to you was, of course, the Wii games, right, which are also some gesture-based games and things. I mean, I think gaming to me seems like a very interesting industry where at least there'll be some compelling use cases. People will be willing to pay money to do this. I think. I don't know whether you are exploring talking to sort of game developers and trying to see.
I think at this point we were really looking more at games on the phones rather than games on devices, and what do you call it, the Wii or Xbox or anything like that. At this point, that's what we are exploring. But again, like I said, if these game manufacturers would like to use our rugby device, that's not a problem. That's part of our business model.
Okay, Kishore, I have one other question. For instance, I have elderly parents, and they are reasonably computer literate, so they like to look at programs on the computer screen, and because of their age and visual and also arthritis and other things, using a mouse to navigate between screens and click stuff and all that is quite a challenge for them. They end up clicking the wrong things, and then they wonder where it's all gone and so on. I would see something like this, and here it is not a phone. You're looking at using this device as an interface to your computer screen and being able to manipulate web pages on the computer screen. And if they get a call on their mobile phone, being able to pick it up without having to search and look where the mobile phone is and so on, right? So there is potential for something like this, but it is very much like Minority Report, for instance.
So I mean, we have actually done that. What we have done is, one of the things we have is we have an app right now, which is called Phonica Announce. So what it does is it announces the name of the caller through the headphones. This is a different technology. I don't want to get too far, but the bottom line is that you're able to hear the person who's calling in your ear if you're wearing like a headphone or an earphone, or the phone itself. You can hear the name of the person who's calling through the phone speaker. And then the other thing that we have done is we have connected our phone using, like, say, the Google or Apple dongle that attaches to the back of the TV, and we're actually able to manipulate the phone. So when you don't have to look at the phone, okay, to operate the screen. Essentially, let's say that you're on one screen, you're reading a long article on the TV, and you want to go to the next page. All you have to do is you look down, and the next page appears, or you look up and the previous page will appear, or if it's left and right, you can look left and look right, and you can see all this happening on a bigger screen, so the person doesn't have to stare at the phone. So we have actually done that. That works. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. I mean, it's quite interesting what you're doing.
No, like I said, right now our basic problem is only me and Vikram Lele know about it. No one else does.
Please put out all the details on the chat, Kishore. There are questions on that. Yeah, all the links and your website or whatever you had put on, just put it out in the chat.
Actually, I have another idea, Lata. If I could send you an email with all the links, would it be possible to send it to everybody? Because the problem is, I'm not sure. I mean, we just put 5 links here, but we actually got more links, for different things, and so they're not all on the presentation. But
yeah, if you can just put the major one and then send it to me on an email, I will send it across. Or your or you can put your contact details, so they will write to you also. Yes. So that will be easier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So may I suggest the same thing for all the presenters, so that it's people who are interested can directly contact them.
Yeah, sure. Yes, please. We have asked, and I think they've all shared. So all the 3 of them have shared. Now, Kishore also, if you could share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thank you.
But at this time, I must, appreciate and thank you all. Really think that you have all taken more time and been here. So we have the last presenter for the day here today, Ravindra Patel.
Hi, Lata.
Yeah, thank you, Ravindra, for being so patiently here.
My pleasure. Please let me know once.
Yeah, you're on, so you can share your screen.
Yes, I think I can't.
Yes, you have shared. Kishore, you will have to stop. Kishore. While Ravindra is getting set, please do let us know a little bit of feedback on, because this session is going to happen every fortnight. So every alternate Friday, we will have a fish market pitching session. And it's really overwhelming, the response we have. And the slots are actually full till almost January. So we are really overwhelmed with the response we've got and the very enthusiastic entrepreneurs of our ecosystem. So if there is anything that we should be add, and then how we could better do this, some kind of structure, please feel free to let us know what we can do. Please do. Yes, we have Trip Dairy.
Thanks. I represent Tree Prairie. I'm a co-founder, and then what we are trying to build is in the vertical of hospitality, where we want to adopt the digital transitions going inside this vertical. Let me briefly explain what we are trying to do in this presentation. One is the whole statement of us is to provide an assistance on demand. A little bit of background about the team. I'm proud alumni of IIT Madras, close to almost 33 years of research and software development experience put together against the founders. We have traveled across to almost 50 different countries, and we have experienced some of the problems of travel firsthand, both for business and leisure. So we took a jump to see how we can solve at least some of them. A little bit of the company profile. We are selected one of top 8 startup by GOK, which is Government of Karnataka. We are seed funded by GOK and also incubated as a deep tech startup in NASCOM. And very recently, a week back, we are a Google Business Messaging partner for powering the hospitality domain of the new services that they have started. If you might see nowadays, when you do a search for any businesses, to a right side of your screen, you also get enabled the chat message icon for the Google, and some for hospitality businesses, we will be powering some of them. So if you look into the problem space, the different phases of a given traveler's journey, it starts from pre-booking till the time he reaches back home. So the idea there was we do have a lot of players in each of these phases, but we didn't see a solution which can connect across all these phases effectively. What do we mean in the pre-booking stage is something where the ideation starts for the person to say that where he can go, how he can go, and where to book, where to find the best deals. That is what is the pre-booking stage. That typically happens on the search engines like Google or Bing or so on. And after some mind has been made, there is an option of post-booking, which typically the user travels to Make My Trip, Clear Trip, or Booking.com or so on, and try to build his itinerary. And after that, he enters into a space where during the travel, there is almost no assistance. When he lands onto the airport, or when he comes out of the airport, he travels into the towards the hotel and then stays put and the nearby excursions and so on. There are fragmented websites which take care of excursion, pleasures, and the different aspects of the travels. But however, there is no seamless connection that the user sees starting from the time he enters through an ideation phase of going to travel till he reaches back home and also claims his reimbursement, expense management, and so on. The solution that we began was to make sure that we connect all these different phases with the effective technology tool that can help us to guide a user across all these phases. So what is the solution for this is we know what are the personal travel connoisseurs need in the sense that we know to understand already the preferences of the users based on his searches, based on the bookings that he has done, and we tailor-made all these so that all the different assistance that can be provided to him during his journey without him asking, and also auto-suggesting, and there is also a provision for him to ask and get these services done. So we'll try to go a little more in detail on what exactly the solutions looks like in a few slides. But also the question comes like why it is at this point of time, right? When we put this a couple of years back, we saw the travel industry being completely fragmented, as I said already, and there was no solution that existed. But we indeed see it was an unprecedented growth in the travel, but we also see that it would continue further. The reason being following, right? So for everybody, after the basic expectations of the lives are met, one of the aspiration is to do a travel, see around the world and experience it. And we do see that though with the current situation being around, it has been the industry which has been badly hit, but we see the rebound happening soon. And we have seen some of the green shoots coming up with our technology because we have few points as well. So what exactly we do, right? So as a user story, if I put it, you might come across with an idea to go and visit a Goa, and you want to have an idea to book me a cheapest flight after 5 p.m. Would be the query, and then you try to get that thing done on our platform, and automatically it gets booked it. But also, if we are not competitive enough to book it, you might have an ability to book it on Make My Trip or Clear Trip or whoever. But and the email things comes to your inboxes, And this email thinks we need access to your emails to parse this content, and automatically we build the itinerary on what is the length of your stay, and we already know it from your traveling today, and you will be staying for a week in Goa, and what are the things that are happening in between. Once the itinerary is being built, we do all the demand addressal. For example, as soon as you come into the close vicinity of an airport, your boarding pass automatically comes up, so you don't need to pull it up. As soon as you come out of the airport, the booking of the cab, predictive booking comes in, because we already know the vendors, either it might be Ola, Uber, or if some of the people want to come in, so you don't need to explicitly go and book. And we also track your flight delays and so on, so it will be more easier. And some of the examples could be as simple as you have a query that you have landed early and you really want it to have an early check-in at any of the places. You can have a simple query being posted saying that, is it possible to have an early check-in? And this query is not handled by a human being, but a bot which is sitting at one of the hospitality providers, which will be typically a Hilton bot or so on. This bot of ours asks the question to it and automatically check the reservation system and say, is there a possibility or the reservation rules that it has, and then automatically replies back. So it is a completely an assistance on demand during the entire phases of the travel. And if you just look into the market size, this might be a little cryptic at this moment of time, but over the years, it has been a significant growth driver to the Indian GDP. Close to 240 billion US dollars is what is the contribution per year of a travel industry as such. Only in January 2019, there were almost 100 lakh travelers who use the domestic travel, and it is being projected to grow almost like 10% annual. But these numbers are currently not valid with the situation being around, but we foresee that this would be something similar, recouping once the situation. So what are the different technology pieces that we are trying to use here is obviously the chat, the AI, the NLP modules, and the strong integration with the different providers. So how does it work? Either you can send across the emails to plans@tripperry.com and automatically we know where you're traveling, what it is. If you don't want to do that, you can allow us to access your inbox. We automatically parse it. And we have built our own NLP engine as well as a conditional random field based little bit of parsers to, irrespective of kind of vendor the email sends, whether it comes from Make My Trip, Clear Trip, or this. We do have a PDF parsing ability to understand and extract only the relevant information, for example, the flight, the hotel name, and so on, and other details, so that we build all the next steps for them. We have to analyze, we try to provide the relevant answers to the questions that the user might have during the entire process. And we also provide them the recommendations, which are our way where we also monetize, because assuming you land in Dubai and you want to know what are the different things that you can do at this thing. And sometimes typically it happens in a business travel that you don't have that much time to understand the local nuances, but you just go to get a business done. But if there are some weekends off, you really want to explore that city and so on. But what is the best way to do it in a more attractive and an easier fashion without much number of clicks that you need to do on a Google? That would be the way that we recommend it based on. So it is a primitive APIs of AI, NLP, and bot. And we have an entire ecosystem of different bots sitting at different hospitality providers, starting from hotel, resort, car providers, to that of big chains of hotels, to that even of the restaurants, where this bot sits across different digital domains. Either it can be on the Facebook Messenger page, it can be on their website, it can be on their WhatsApp, it can be on the WeChat, and so on. These could be the mediums. The whole idea is you don't need an app to do it, because travel is a one-off activity, and it's very difficult to entice the user to download an app to build it, and we don't use any camera or anything, so we really don't need an app to be built for this. Let's look into a little bit of competitive landscape. There is one ecosystem of players who are personal assistant, who are enterprise level, like Siri, Google, Facebook M, and so on. And on the other side, there are online travel agents like Booking, Make My Trip, Clear Trip, Go, and so many. And then there are itinerary managers like Trip8, WorldMate, Trip38. Where the Trip8 sits is the intersection of all this. We do act as a personal assistant, we do are a booking agent in between embedded, and we also manage the entire itineraries. So that's the intersection that we put. And what's the business model for us? Each bot that we build for any of these digital touchpoints, for example, ABC Resort or hotel, we charge them for building the bot and which gets deployed. And it helps in two ways. One is it tailors to their own customer to understand the nuances of the questions where the human being no need to answer. Because typically over the years, we understood that almost 70 to 80% of the questions are repetitive in nature, which NLP of the current standard can easily handle. And there's no need of a human intervention coming in. So that is the model where we charge for each of the bots that gets deployed across the different hospitality thing. And whatever transaction happens on our bot, we do take a commission. And also, wherever there is a recommendation that we provide, for example, as soon as the person enters into the hotel, there are the recommendation that starts kicking in using our bot. That spa offer of 20% is running currently, rather than a person telling them, which is typically considered as a rude in hospitality industry to sell to the guest. But a digital push can easily help them to convince that user, and if he clicks it and then it gets converted, there is a commission on that. And also we have few upselling and so on before he enters into the hotel. With the current situation, we're also offering something like a contactless check-in and so on, where person who is sitting inside his cab only after landing, he don't need to come and sit inside the reception or come and see the reception front desk. He can do a contactless check-in from his own link that we share, or the digital link that we share. And there also is a opportunity for us to upsell, saying that, the suite room is available at only a fraction, 50 or 500 rupees more, and do we want to take it? And anything that happens, we take a transaction. And so the corporate is a user subscription, but currently we are not venturing in that area. Just to put a little bit on architecture point, how it has is each of these circles that you're seeing are the individual ones which are common, which works independently, like a hotel bots, airline bots, forex, travel service bots, and then there is a consumer-facing bot as well. And there is a bidirectional communication that happens between each of these. So these hotel bots can independently be there, and then they are also source of revenue. Airline bots can be independently, but when the question comes from a consumer, they have an ability to reply back and provide the answer to the requested question. Where we are currently, we have a recurrent revenue of 5 lakh month on month. We have onboarded close to 50 plus hotels and resorts. And even with the current situation being around, we are adding almost close to 10 hotels month on month, because there is a kind of adoption being embraced, though the money is not there in this sector currently to pay us, but still they are able to stretch us and pay for this because they want to adapt to a digital way of working. For example, the contactless check-in, the contactless menu being ordered. How can the person not use the mobile phone kept or the telephone kept in the room, but they can use their own mobile device to access all this. So this is one of the, a short demo. If you could see that this is where it gets activated with a different way, wherein as soon as the person gets into the hotel and then he connects to the Wi-Fi, the bot gets activated. He can ask any questions to it, and then there is an automated reply that are provided, and they can entice them with all the other nearby offers that are available, so that it is easy for them to get things done for the guest who is there. And it's a completely digital connect. Even they can do a checkout without coming to the front desk. This is a little bit of look and feel of what the dashboard looks like. It's a little more better than this, with all the offers that you can embed and so on. And these are some of the customers that we have currently, which ranges from a standalone property, which has a per night packs of somewhere around 4,000 rupees per night, to that of 18,000 per night. And some of the standalone groups to that of a Signet group, which is almost 50 hotel chains in India. And we have 2 customers in US that we are onboarded very recently. And this has been the journey so far for TripDairy. Thanks. If any questions?
Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Ravindra, for the presentation. So you talked about a bigger vision at the start in terms of integrating across airlines and but later on in the presentation you said your focus is bit more on selling as a concierge bot for hotels. So the idea is that you will be across all of these other aspects of travel, like airlines and so on, and therefore they will, you're essentially selling a bot solution to airlines as well later on. Is that how you become integrated across different aspects of travel?
Yes, that's true. So we started with the vertical of hotel and the resorts as one of the sectors, and then few cab providers we have put in, and the airline bots we were in talk with AirAsia by the time this situation came in, and Indigo in India. So yes, so the whole idea is every travel provider should be on our ecosystem, where they have an ability to at least tell us few of the FAQs and few of the real nuances, what the questions people can come, so that we appropriately know when the question comes in. We know from the itinerary that he is traveling with the Indigo Airlines, and if he has a question saying that can you reschedule or so on, we can really come to know from his itinerary that this is a question for the Indigo bot, and then we put that question to the Indigo bot, and it sets it from there and put it back here. So that's the whole idea. So the ecosystems of each of the digital assistant to be there at every touch point of the hospitality industry.
Understand. So most of these providers already have bots, right? Like Indigo would have their own bot, I'm assuming.
Yes, so it's a little bit of an open architecture as well, so open communication way. If they have their own bot, which is typically being provided by some of the third parties or even with we have an open connections which we can extract so that bot needs and question to be put across. So in this case, rather than a human putting it, the TripDairy bot puts a question to it, gets a reply back and put it. So that extension is being built, and it's a kind of discussion that we have to open the port for us to get that access if they already are having a bots.
So therefore my question, if an airline already has a generic bot or they have deployed a bot solution, what is the incentive for them to allow to also have TripDairy, and how does it impact the consumer? Maybe I didn't get something about the business model, but if you can explain that.
It's true, right? There are multiple vendors in building a basic bot, and it has become a commodity. But what's the problem with building these AI bots? Very specifically, domain is the true reach of it, right? So if a person is building the bot for real estate as well as a hotel and so on, you don't have an ecosystem to play, right? You don't know the customer profile itself who is coming in. But if the person puts it in our chat, we already know it for what he's asking for. So the domain adoption is one of the strong advantage that we have because we already understand the complete ecosystem of only the travel being there. So what is the incentive for people to switch is switching. Switching for them would be the amount of traction that we are trying to bring in, right? Our consumers would be, as it's a consumer-facing bot, we are open to almost like 1 billion Facebook messengers or the WhatsApp as it sits in, right? So anybody can come in. But whereas for Indigo Airlines, it has to be somebody who has to come on the Indigo Airlines website to do the chatting. But in this case, they can be on a general purpose and still. So the amount of consumers that would be feeding them would be something more enormous than only the tailored consumers that they're already coming on the.
Okay. And do you face a challenge of not interacting with the intermediary? So I make a booking for hotel on booking.com, but you are directly signing up as a bot service with the hotel. So how does that impact the, what information lies with you? So if I have to make a change to my hotel room, I have to go through booking.com, right?
Not really, because at the end of the day, the booking using the bot is a little bit of same way. At the backend engine, it will be either we source it from MBDS, the inventories, and then we try to put it across, right? So at the end, the inventory management should not be a problem. But what would be enticing is this bot which sits on the hotel, so it is adding a value to them because everybody who searches on Google goes to make my trip to check for a hotel. Invariably, they come back to the website of that particular hotel to see whether it is really true or not, whatever being put across. So almost with our understanding and also on the multiple servers, 86% of the people come back to the original website. But these people don't have an ability to catch those people who are already coming on their hotel website to, entice them to do a direct booking on their, platform, or rather what I say, the website of theirs. So this is one of the way how we power our hotel bots, right? We say them that you are able to do a direct bookings and you don't need to pay the commission of 20 to 25% that you pay to make my trip. Already the customer is there on your website. If you answer him the right question that he has in his mind with the right reply and then entice them properly with giving the thing, and you could easily save almost 15 to 20% of your value. So that's the way the people are getting adopted to taking these bots and putting it onto there.
Understand. So in some ways you're going you are impacting, or you're going after part of the revenue pie for make my trip or Clear Trip or Booking or Expedia and so on.
A little bit of removing the dependency on the OTA, because 40% of the revenue to 50% of the revenue comes from OTA and remaining 50% from direct booking. So we want to improve why is the direct booking share so that we take a cut. And even internally, we also know that Booking.com has also started building these assistants for hotels, but I don't know the current state. But they launched it some time back as well.
Okay, and what is your customer acquisition strategy?
Typically, it starts with profiling the customer. It's a B2B. So for us, we have a targeted channel to directly talk to decision makers in the B2B segment, which are typically the directors of the hotels and general managers, revenue managers, and so on. And we don't spend too much on the ad revenues. It's a direct connect with, we have few sales rep who do the B2B connect cold calling and then that of reaching to them. It's very fair amount of small thing because nobody internally now currently at this situation, nobody wants these solutions to be up and know it because it is kind of a nudge driven. We need to nudge them that this is a solution that you need to have it. So that's the reason B2B is currently with a cold calling sales and as well as the email trigger blast that we do.
Yeah. How does your B2B customer acquisition cost versus how much do you make from the customer? Do you have some sense of those ratios?
Indeed. Acquisition cost as such, we don't spend on the Google ads and so on. So it's a resource staff that we put it for our B2B sales marketing. And then it is a commission basis for them. So which means it relatively lowers down our cost of paying upfront. What we entice them to do is to not to take this monthly subscription because we charge it for each Connoisseur bot that we build and put it. It varies from somewhere around 50K to 2 lakh per bot for the property for a given year, right? So that is an upfront that they need to pay it, and then we show a significant thing. And some very small properties, which are very like 20 rooms or 40 rooms, we also have a quarterly subscription plan, which ranges roughly per month transaction comes around 3,000 to 4,000 rupees per month from. So that makes a little bit of entry barrier to make a decision quick for smaller, but for bigger trends, we entice them for the yearly subscription. Currently, out of all the 48 that we are close to year renewal of almost 44 back this year, even with the current.
And your
little bit of change.
And you're bootstrapped until date?
We have seed funded, and then now we are looking for pre-series A.
Understand. No, thank you, Ravindra.
Thanks, Ravi.
Yeah, it's now open. Any questions?
Can you repeat that last part, please? So you said you had some seed funding, but you are now still looking for venture capital?
Yes, we had seed funding. Now we want to go for a venture capital.
So what is the funding target for this round?
So we are looking at $1 million.
Okay.
$1 million USD. So at an equity of close to 10 to 11%.
Okay. And are you a US located entity or an Indian located entity?
Indian located entity.
Okay.
But few customers in US.
Okay. Any other questions? Ravindra, please put out your contact details in the chat.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if there's a easy way to download the chat. It may be best if Lata, you forward us the contact details and
sure, we will.
Any specific links that any of these presenters want to share.
Sure. We will do that also, for sure. Anything else? And a little bit of feedback on what we can do. We haven't heard. We'd love to hear. And special thanks to all of you who have really stayed back till the end. I think one thing that we learned is, yes, we need to now specify the time rightly because I think there's quite of enthusiasm. And it's good to see so many of you here. I think we have NS Anand, who has come back after a very long time. Hi, Anand. Good to see a lot of you for the first time here also.
Hi, Lata.
Yeah, hi. Shiva, are you here? Shiva. Yeah, I have something on the chair. Yeah. No, Sinus Sense Private Limited is not presenting today because the other two companies that didn't present today were actually looking, for partners or a CTO and all that. So they felt a little thing. So they will come back later. Because today has been more on product and other things. So let's wait. Yeah? Thank you, Ravi, for that comment. And thank you. So if it is done now, then a little tighter time management. Yeah, I understand. But we need to see. We don't want to get into the enthusiasm, people. So I think the best is for us to mention that it will be 6:30 p.m. onwards. And it could take about 2 hours with 4 or 5 people presenting. When is the next one? The next, every alternate Friday, we will have a fish market pitching session. Every alternate Friday, and the slots are almost full till January 2021. But of course, there will be some dropout, something. So if you know somebody, please go on the website and they can still apply. Yes, Shiva, officially for you to close today's session. Yeah, over to you.
Just a couple of thoughts actually before we close the session. Firstly, to the presenting teams, can I make one request, which is that when you start the presentation, could you make your ask very clear? In fact, the opening slide should probably be something along the lines of, we are so and so, and we are here to either seek investments or either look for partnership, because there's a lot of conversation on, there is a lot of excited conversation on the business itself. And in the process, some of the other audience members might lose track of, what exactly you're seeking. So I think to place the conversation in proper context, it will help if you, at the outset, set what your agenda is and what specifically you're looking for. And the second thing I want to say is that this is a very open forum in terms of what your ask can be. So even if you're looking to make hires, senior level hires, please feel free to get involved and make the presentation. I look forward to the two other teams that were looking to present today. I look forward to them coming back and making the presentation that they wanted to make. I know that they were looking to for partnerships, and they were looking to make a senior level hire. I look forward to having them back. On that note, thank you all so much. A special thanks to Lata and her team for pulling this together. Wouldn't have been possible without her. Thanks for the presenting teams, and of course thanks to the experts who navigated the conversation and made it all very interesting to the audience. I hope off the back of this, there are some of the teams do find what they're looking for from this community. Look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks then. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.